When searchers reached the Forest Service trailer on June 4, 1978, Ted Wyher's body was lying on a cot with his boots removed. He had survived nearly 3 months alone in the Sierra Nevada, consuming approximately 80 cans of food. He had not walked the 19 miles back to his friends. The case begins 11 weeks earlier, on the night of February 24, 1978. 5 men from Yuba County, California, Ted Wyher, Jack Madruga, Jackie Hewitt, Gary Mathias, and Bill Sterling, attended a college basketball game in Chico. All 5 had developmental disabilities. They ranged in age from 24 to 32. Madruga drove his mother's 1969 Mercury Montego. The game ended and they began the drive home. They never arrived. The car was found the following morning near the snow lane on a road outside Oroville. It was pointed in the wrong direction, away from Yuba City. The engine was in working order. The fuel tank was not empty. The keys were gone. A search was launched, but the Sierra Nevada in late February is not a place that returns what it takes without effort. The snowpack was deep. The terrain above the road climbs sharply. Searchers found nothing that week. Nothing that month. Then, in June 1978, the snowmelt began to reveal what winter had covered. Bill Sterling was found within roughly a quarter mile of the abandoned car. Jack Madruga was found nearby, also within that same short radius of the vehicle they had left behind. Jackie Hewitt's skeletal remains turned up in June, approximately 2 miles from the car. A few weeks later, rangers conducting a patrol in the mountains reached an elevated area near what is sometimes called the Slate Creek Ranger Station. They found the trailer. They found Ted Wyher. Gary Mathias was never found. The physical record inside that trailer is precise and strange in equal measure. Wyher had consumed an estimated 80 cans of food from the trailer's stored supplies. The trailer contained matches, bedding, and a wood-burning stove. Investigators noted that fire had been attempted in the stove, but had not been maintained effectively. Given the temperatures at that elevation in late winter, the failure to sustain a fire was consequential. Wyher had lost an estimated 80 to 100 pounds by the time of death. That degree of weight loss, measured against the food he consumed, suggested he had been alive inside the trailer for somewhere between 8 and 13 weeks following the group's disappearance in late February. He had survived. He had not left. His boots were placed neatly beside the cot. He died in his socks. The Yuba County Sheriff's Office investigated. The official determination was that the men had become disoriented in the dark and the cold and had wandered into the mountains, where exposure and the terrain did the rest. It was a plausible account. Developmental disabilities can affect judgment and navigation under stress. The snowline in that area in late February was at approximately 1,000 feet above the road. The men were dressed for a basketball game, not a winter ascent. The official position treated the outcome as a tragedy of circumstance rather than a mystery of cause. That position did not resolve everything the evidence contained. Sterling and Madruga were found within a quarter mile of the car. Hewitt was found approximately 2 miles away. Wyher was found 19 miles from the vehicle, inside a locked structure with food in his stomach and his footwear arranged beside him. No documented evidence established how or when the group separated. No witness saw them leave the car. No tracks were recovered from the snowpack that could establish a clear route. The question of how 5 men who left a car together ended up distributed across 19 miles of mountain terrain, with no confirmed point of separation, was never answered by the investigation. The trailer itself holds details that resist easy interpretation without inviting invention. The door was locked from the inside when rangers arrived. The supplies were present and had clearly been used. The stove had been attempted. A man who had lost nearly 100 pounds from his body had still not opened the door, crossed the 19 miles of terrain between himself and the road, and returned to where 3 of his companions had apparently remained near the vehicle and died. The boots beside the cot were the kind of detail that sits in an evidence report and does not explain itself. There is one additional absence worth noting here. Gary Macias, the 5th member of the group, has never been found. No remains, no clothing, no personal effects recovered in the area. In the decades since 1978, his disappearance has generated considerable speculation, but it has not generated documentation. What is confirmed is that he was in that car on the night of February 24, and that he was not found with the others, and that the trailer showed evidence of habitation by at least one person for a sustained period. The case has been examined by journalists and researchers since 1978. The documented facts have not changed. 5 men left a basketball game and drove toward home. Their car was found the next morning, intact and functional, pointing the wrong direction on a mountain road. 3 of them died within a few miles of that car. One was found 19 miles away, in a locked trailer, having survived for months before dying of exposure and starvation without attempting to walk out. One was never found at all. No evidence established what happened in the hours between the car being parked and the snow covering the road the following morning. What was documented is the arrangement of a pair of boots beside a cot, and the man who placed them there, and the distance between that trailer and the friends he did not return to.